In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It had already fallen
that
through.
Only was. Sorry?
So the Democrat reactions to the Hunter Biden pardon have honestly been pretty interesting because on one hand, you have the blind Democrat shills who are defending it. And they're saying, who cares that Joe Biden explicitly said he wasn't going to pardon his son? This is politics and we should do what we need to do, which I would say at the very least, they're honest about who they are, right? They're just willing to admit they've been lying the past 4 years to advance themselves politically. But on the other hand, you have the quote unquote principled people who really did believe the propaganda and buy all of this gaslighting about the democratic norms and civility and respecting the rule of law. And suddenly now they are shocked, right? They're completely flabbergasted that Joe Biden went back on his word. For instance, we have Nate Silver, who started a lot of controversy on the Democrat side today because he said the following. He says, I discussed here how I voted for Harris despite feeling like Democrats indulged in a lot of bad behavior that voters were rational to publish. After the White House lying about the Hunter Biden pardon, I'm not sure how much more I can tolerate. He goes on to say, do not vote for any Democrat in 2028 who doesn't repudiate the pardon within 48 hours. So again, I would say, Nate, why are you surprised? I mean, nobody should be shocked that Joe Biden was lying the entire time, but you tune over to the folks, for instance, at CNN, in contrast to MSNBC, some of these hosts, like Kasie Hunt here, for instance, seem completely shocked. We'll show you that here today. So folks, do us a big favor. Make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new. Help us reach our goal of 400K subs by the end of the year. And with that said, here is CNN actually calling out Joe Biden for his blatant hypocrisy and lying when it came to pardoning Hunter Biden.
The Biden Justice Department has been politicized. That's the message this morning from not just Donald Trump, but from President Joe Biden himself. The president issuing a full and unconditional pardon to his son Hunter after repeatedly insisting in public that he wouldn't do it.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No. Well, it stood until last night.
You love to see it. And honestly, I think in the grand scheme of things, even if we may not be happy about the Hunter Biden pardon, but I think in some ways, Biden sort of handed us a long-term victory for two reasons. Firstly, it gives Trump the mandate and sort of the argument, the narrative to be able to do whatever he wants in terms of the justice system, pardoning the J6 people, for instance. I mean, I'm sure the media is still going to be up in arms, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to seriously and believably make this argument when Hunter Biden literally just got a pardon 2 seconds before Trump enters office, number one. But also number two, I think it is so funny because it has largely discredited and dismantled the main Democrat argument against Trump for the past 8 years, which is that Democrats are the party of civility and respecting our cherished institutions and our democratic norms. I mean, guys, how long did you hear those arguments? Our institutions are non-biased and they can't be politicized. It's dangerous for Trump to question them or suggest that American justice can be undermined and Democrats respect the norms and more blah, 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 this and that. Well, clearly, again, that entire narrative high ground, you could say, that the Democrats have been trying to weaponize for the past 8 years and have largely been unsuccessful at, but they still keep running around screaming about our democracy and all these other things. Yeah, that's been completely dismantled. And take a listen here as a Democrat congressman on this very show, the same episode, right, is forced to confront the fact that he literally either himself was lied to or misled the entire American public about the Hunter Biden pardon, because this host plays a video of him saying definitively, Hunter will never be pardoned, only for Hunter to be pardoned.
In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him. And I think you see that in this case, where he kept on, and Merrick Garland kept on, a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney to investigate the president's son. If there is not an indication of the independence of the Department of Justice beyond that, I don't know what we could look for.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It already fallen
that
through.
Only was. Sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through. And I hear what you're saying.
I mean, he's just speechless, right? He has nothing to say because there is nothing to say. There's no kind of, like, again, moral high ground argument that the Democrats can use against Trump anymore. And that's the hilarious part about this all. And so you have a lot of people running around in circles. Now, like I said, some of the liars out there, such as the people on MSNBC, they don't really care, right? They're totally Machiavellian about it all. They're like, yeah, we lied to you. Yeah, Joe Biden lied to you, but it helped us out. So therefore it's good. And we should, do everything we want in terms of advancing ourselves politically. And again, that's kind of bad, you could say, but at least they're honest about it, right? At least they're not lying to themselves about being some type of, respecters of democracy, or we love the justice system and we should not undermine it and all this stuff. But, when it comes to still trying to walk back the arguments that people made in good faith about respecting our norms, yeah, there's nothing to say. And as you can see there, that Democrat congressman is like, oh, shoot. Like, he has no response, in fairness. How do you respond to that? Because Biden just straight up lied about this. And, again, the best argument is probably just to say, yeah, Biden was lying, deal with it, get over it. But that also surrenders all of these arguments about how Trump is so uniquely threatening to democracy because the other side is doing the same thing. So blah, blah, blah. Anyways, with that said, last thing we'll play here, as you could probably expect, Scott Jennings, of all people, is going to completely tear into this CNN panel because of it. And take a listen.
Every American, except the most partisan, brain-rotted people, are going to be outraged by this today. He is going to leave off. You think 39% job approval is bad? Just you wait. Just you wait. He's disgraced today. Outrageous.
You don't need to, but Scott, you don't need to hurl names and say people like me are brain-rotted. Come on, that's a little beyond the pale, even for you, Scott.
No, you are brain-rotted, either in one way or the other. Because either you're going from Joe Biden won't pardon Hunter Biden because he respects our rule of law to Joe Biden did pardon Hunter Biden and that's a good thing, we don't care. Like that is brain rot. That is a brain rotted take. Now, at least, again, some people are being honest about it. But even on the flip side, if you want to be one of these quote unquote principled people who is actually criticizing Biden for going back on his word, still in some ways, it's brain rotted. Because you're still having to do these mental gymnastics and claim, oh, no, we were totally honest about this for so many years, but now it's just like there's nothing you can really say. So brain rotted is correct.
Listen,
I disagree. We can disagree.
You don't have to defend this. He's leading office. You don't have to defend it. You don't have to die on this hill. You can say this is wrong because everybody knows that it is. It's wrong.
Correct.
Are you fine with the lying? Are you fine with him sitting before the election all year and lying to the American people? Are you fine with the lying about it?
I don't think that he was lying. I think he made a decision after the fact and decided this was the right thing for him and for his family.
Brain rotted is correct. He wasn't lying. He said on camera, do we need to play the clip? We've been playing it a lot, but do we need to play the clip again, right? Joe Biden said on camera, I will not pardon Hunter Biden.
But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Well, and Karen, to be fair, Joe Biden, we did play that sound earlier, did flat out say on multiple occasions, and the press secretary did, that he would not pardon Hunter Biden.
He sure did. And I will tell you that he probably heard from a lot of people who said, you know what, sir, go ahead and do it. You should go ahead and protect your son, because who knows what Trump and Trump's Department of Justice will do when they say that their number one goal is retribution. How could you not take the opportunity to say, you know what, this is one thing that I can do for my child. This is one thing I can do to help get the target off of his back. Also, by the way, this is politics.
Oh, by the way, this is politics. And, you know, you finally get to that point. By the way, this is politics. I thought Joe Biden wasn't lying. That was I don't think he actually lied about it. Yes, he did. And again, probably the best excuse you can make if you're a Democrat is it's politics. At least I respect that because it's honest. But don't sit here and tell me that Joe Biden wasn't lying. And no, I mean, he was lying. Like, how hard is that to say? What are these mental gymnastics? Notice how she went from he's not lying, and then 60 seconds later, but this is politics. Unbelievable. Yeah, Scott Jennings, again, there is completely correct. It's brain rot. It's brain rot to listen to. It's brain rot to witness there. And again, the excuse making here is just ridiculous. Just accept the fact that by doing this, Democrats lost all of the moral high ground that they've been trying to argue for so many years, which we always knew was bogus, by the way. Let me make that clear. Okay, but now they're admitting it openly, right? We don't really respect these so-called Democrat norms or this so-called rule of law. Like, that was always BS. Okay, but at least, okay, in the end, we did get there, because finally she admits it was politics and it was BS all along. So there you go. There you go. Okay, but with that said, guys, there it is. CNN reacting to the Hunter Biden pardon. Kind of funny to see. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, God bless and peace.